Good day everybody, Professor Bitszu here, and welcome to the next installment of How To with Bitszu, the show where we discuss everything Minecraft. Let's get to her. In today's episode, we're going to be covering more of the basics. Today we will be discussing Nuetral Mobs, and we've got one of each trapped in the little cages here, so let's go over all the ins and outs about them. Okay, we're going to be starting off with the tiny little cave spider, then the Enderman, polar bears, regular spiders, and then the zombie Pigman. Okay, let's just dive into this. First off, we've got this little guy here. This is the cave spider. Now these little suckers will only spawn in a abandoned mine shaft or a dungeon where there is a cave spider spawner. Now they are a little bit smaller than the regular spider, like this guy here. I probably should have put them right beside each other. And they're a little bit more deadly. These guys are small enough that they can fit through a space that is only 1 block wide and half a block tall. And they can even squeeze between the gap between fences if you're putting down fences of different kinds. You know how they don't attach. And this little sucker can also poison you. They have a poison effect, which lasts for about 7 seconds and just chips away at your life. As well as that, these guys are also immune to poison, and they can pass through cobwebs just as quickly as they can walk on walls. Yeah. Deadly. They are most of the time fairly neutral, unless you get too close to them, then they get aggressive towards you. They can be pacified by the light level though. If you break it open to daylight, as long as they're in a light level of 9 or above, they will remain passive. But any of them that have already been made aggressive towards you will remain that way. Next up, we have the Enderman. Enderman is the only mob that can spawn in every one of the zones. These guys will spawn in the overworld, the end, and in the nether. Anywhere that there is a light level of 7 or less, and there is a solid block for them to stand on. These guys will also teleport around, and they remain passive until you do one of two things. You either attack one of them, or if you're up to 64 blocks away and you make eye contact with them, they will open their mouth, start screaming, and just attack relentlessly and teleport around to get to you. Another little tidbit, if you try to attack one of these guys with a ranged attack, i.e. shooting them with a bow and arrow, or even something like throwing a snowball at them, your attack will never hit them. They will teleport away before it touches them. They have a chance of dropping an ender pearl, which is always a handy thing. That is used for teleporting. Wherever it lands, that's where you get sent to. Excellent. And, little tidbit, an endermite and an enderman, they do not get along. If there is an endermite anywhere in the vicinity, the enderman will always track it and try to attack it, and they'll kill these suckers. I don't know what their problem is with each other, but oh wow, he's having a seizure too. What the heck? Get out of here. Next up, we have the polar bear. These guys are pretty cute and a fairly new addition to the game. They will spawn in ice plains, ice mountains, and ice spikes biomes. They are a little over a block wide and a little over a block tall, almost a block and a half tall. When you attack one of these suckers, there is a chance that they can drop a raw fish, and a slim chance they might drop raw salmon. And the interesting thing there is, even if you attack them with fire or lava, their drops remain raw. They're never a cooked version of it. These guys remain neutral unless, of course, you attack one of them. Or, if there is a mama bear out with her cubs, if you get too close to the cubs, the mother bear will attack you. And if you are in an area that there are multiple bears, if you actually attack one of the cubs, every adult bear within a 41 by 21 grid will attack you. Next up, we have the spider. These guys will spawn anywhere in the world where there is a light source level of 7 or less, and a 3 by 3 by 2 space for them to spawn into. They will often spawn in groups of up to 4, and these guys, just like their poisonous counterpart over yonder will also spawn in dungeons if there is a spider spawner, and occasionally woodland mansions will also have a spider spawner inside of them. They drop up to 2 pieces of string, and there's a 1 out of 3 chance that they will drop a spider eye. And the way the spiders react is if there is a light level of 11 or less, they will be hostile. If it is light out, they will be neutral, unless of course you attack them, then they will defend themselves. And if there are some spiders that have gone aggressive, once the light level becomes over a certain level, they will actually back down. They're also hostile towards iron golems. And just like their poisonous counterpart, these guys are unaffected by poison attacks. But luckily they do not have a poison attack of their own. They just simply jump at you, and that is that. When spiders are spawning in, there is roughly a 1% chance that they will spawn in with a skeleton riding on their back. So yeah, then you have to contend with a spider jockey. You've got your spider attacking you, plus the skeleton shooting arrows at you at the same time. Next up, we have the Zombie Pigman. Zombie Pigman will spawn in the Nether, around Nether portals, or if a pig is struck by lightning, there is a chance it'll turn into one of these fellas. Their drops consist of rotten flesh, golden nuggets, and there's a slim chance that they will drop a golden ingot instead of the nugget, and every zombie pigman will spawn in carrying a golden sword, and there is a really good chance that they will drop their sword when they are killed as well. Depending on the difficulty, that sword could possibly have different enchantments on it as well. Zombie pigman will spawn in groups of 4 at any light level in the Nether. When a zombie pigman is spawned into the game, there is roughly a 5% chance that it will spawn in as a baby zombie pigman instead. And out of all those babies, there is a 5% chance each of them will spawn in as a chicken jockey. So it would be riding around on a chicken, which always looks ridiculous. And there's another little cool tidbit. On Halloween, there is a chance that the zombie pigman will spawn in with either a pumpkin or a jack-o'-lantern on its head, wearing it as a helmet. And if you kill one on Halloween when it's wearing a pumpkin, there's also a chance that it will drop its pumpkin as well. A zombie pigman will remain passive unless you attack one of them, and then if you do, every pigman within a 111 block radius from you will become aggressive and start to attack. You can escape from them, and if you break line of sight and stay away for over 30 seconds, they can return back to passive, but that is a random chance, and sometimes they will take quite a while and stay aggressive for a very long time. Zombie pigman can be drowned, but they are immune to fire and lava damage. Alrighty folks, that's it for today's lesson, and I hope you learned a little something today as we were discussing passive mobs. I'm gonna say goodbye for now, but as always, if you like what you see, go ahead and smack that like button, and if you'd like to see more, go ahead and hit that round Bitszu icon to subscribe. Any requests for any future how-to episodes, go ahead and leave some comments down below, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!